So let's talk about this wholesale thing.
All right, so the main thing is, I know we're showing content, it's about building partnerships. And you guys have all the
That's why the
necessary.
acquisition stuff, that's what the hell we're talking
Oh,
about.
okay, you're talking about
Yeah,
the,
so we're saying the different parts.
okay, so the different positions. So the first part, building the wholesale team, you have to have your acquisition. First of all, you want to have VAs. They're going to be handling all the
Virtual assistants?
virtual assistants.
Or what if I have people here that could just do that?
If you have that, that's great. So basically, they'll be handling all the day-to-day things, which
Okay.
would be, if we're getting lists, they'll be organizing the list. So whenever we're sending an RVM to a campaign, we're not sending the same RVM multiple times, right? And then they, on a weekly basis, they make sure that we're marketing to the right list, but the biggest thing is the follow-up.
So who's in charge of that? Because if I give an RVM a list, and she's going through the list, but who's checking the RVM?
So the ringless voicemails are gonna go out to the list. The RVM is basically when you call, it leaves a voicemail on their phone.
Right.
The people are gonna listen to the voicemail, and they'll call back, right?
Who's
when
taking the intake? Inbound
you're gonna
call?
have a VA take the intake.
A VA?
Yeah.
Virtual assistant?
Yeah, they're gonna so everything's done on Curate, right? So they will call in the number that's on Curate. They will call in the VA is gonna pick up and say, all right, we'll set an appointment with the acquisition. The acquisition person is gonna handle, all right, they're gonna go through, check what the house is worth, what needs to be fixed.
Basically, a market analysis, CMA.
Yeah, they're gonna do a market analysis, and then they can either make the offer right then and there, or they say, you know, we try to negotiate a price.
So
with
who's
them.
that person?
The person that,
Who's the one to give a negotiation in? Because the virtual assistant's making an appointment to talk to the acquisition person.
Right.
So who's the acquisition person?
the acquisition is gonna be talking to the seller.
Well,
to
who's the
person that's-
acquisitions person?
Is that you?
No, that's someone that we're gonna hire.
Hire?
Yeah.
I can do that shit.
You said you had people.
Yeah, but I need to actually know how to do the CMA and talk to them.
So you're talking about like a desktop?
Yeah, it can be,
Appraisal?
okay, so you wanna know the positions. Let's talk about the positions.
No, break it down. I don't want to cut you off. Break it down.
Alright, so you have 2 or 3 VAs. They're handling the day in, day out, everything. They'll handle calls as well. Then you have the acquisition. The acquisition only deals with people that are motivated to sell their house right now. That's the only people they deal with.
Fine.
They don't deal with warm leads, they don't deal with nothing like that. They only deal with people that, I wanna sell my house and I'm in a desperate situation, let's get it done. That's the only person that the acquisition person deals with, alright?
Okay.
You say this is gonna be a third party person?
No, there's gonna be somebody that's part of our team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they'll be part of the day in, day out, scenarios as well,
Okay.
right? So that's the acquisition, so what their job is to get what the house is worth, and then they'll make an offer, they can do a verbal offer right then and there. If they can't get it over the phone, they'll be like, okay, let's meet at your house and see what we can do as far as that concerned.
All right.
Whenever they agree on that, then you have the dispo. The dispo is the person that handles getting the deal closed. So they're only dealing with investors and say, hey, this is the deal that I have, and blah, blah, blah. They're marketing the deal to make sure.
I have
it closes.
investors all day.
So, and that's
And
their
we have
job.
the capital to buy it.
And there we go. And that's, so basically how it breaks down is, the acquisition gets 10%, the dispo gets 10%
Okay.
of the deal. VAs are usually getting paid an hourly or a weekly pay, right? Now we're at the dispo part. The dispo person is handling, making sure the deal goes closed. So we'll either, the ways to do it, they can send a mass text to investors.
Okay.
So you get those texts all the time.
Yep.
So that's how that goes. We'll text blast all the investors.
You have the system that we're gonna have the pictures and the
Yeah,
Google Drive.
That's easy to set up.
Yeah, that's what
That's easy stuff. So the dispo will communicate with investors, take those calls, and basically try to lock down the deal so it can close in less than 14 days.
So the dispo is closing the deal with the seller and then also the end buyer?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And what is their 10%? Their 10% on that?
The finder's fee.
The
Finder's fee, yeah.
the contract price?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So how do we get the properties in? Like how, besides what we mentioned, how do we get, so people that want to be a part of it, that wants to do, okay, well, because not everybody necessarily knows the system, not everybody has the money.
Mhm.
How do we get people that we're gonna bring on board to make money with us in the wholesale thing, outside of having the VMA, because we gotta have somebody that talks to them. I don't want someone to talk, when we get the acquisition, that don't know nothing about real estate.
Right.
So that gotta be someone like you, or somebody who knows how to do a real property analysis.
Right. Now, there's tools in place where we can just, this tool is gonna help you do it, right? To help you. Now,
But-
my approach,
Go ahead.
whenever we get sellers, even if they're not good, so the wholesale amount, people have built up equity, right? So they don't wanna let all the equity go. So that you have to have different strategies on how to close the deal, whether it be subject to, creative financing. So there's gonna be different ways where we close the deal. Now, our job is to train the people, not to mention things like a wraparound mortgage. You know, we don't talk that language to them, but we give them three different options on how we can get you out of this situation.
Okay.
So it's either gonna be, hey, we can give you a cash offer, this, and that, right? Or we can do we're not gonna say wraparound mortgage, but we can say, we're gonna purchase the house, but the mortgage is gonna remain in your name. That's that sort of thing, and we'll keep that as a rental.
Yeah, my boy has a whole bunch of those.
So we subject to, I'm giving out this free content. But yeah, that's it. So you wanna have different strategies, so every deal that comes to the table, we should be able to close it.
Okay.
Like, we should not be.
So are we putting that here? Are we building that here now? Are we do we have to build something here to make it conducive for a work environment? We already have a nice work environment.
Yeah, this is.
But are we doing something else in the back to funnel it, like a chartboard, or I need to have something visual. Like I'm visual. Like,
Right.
and I gotta have like a 70-inch TV. And hey, here's all the deals. This is what's coming in. This is coming out. Because if I get an email all day, I get too many damn emails.
Right.
I can't go through all those
Right.
emails.
So you can create like either a marker board where you're writing everything down.
Nah,
There-
they digital,
there-
but I'm investing money. I want something nice.
Yeah, there's.
They sell those ones, you can write on them with it's almost like a
I need
stylus.
to new dealership nigga, where everything is like,
Yeah.
wow, that's what I
You
want.
get one of those,
It's a
yeah.
brand. We're buying it.
You gotta, wow. So there's a.
The technology is gonna be
Yeah,
advanced
bro.
off the
You don't see
gate.
Honcho desk right here? We got it kind of it has to be. If you work for us, it has to be a conducive working environment where it feels good. Like they're part of our team attacks team. What are they doing now? They're getting back there in the break room, lounging, enjoying snacks, blah blah.
Right.
It has to be conducive for you to want to come to work.
You want a flight to be.
Yeah, I don't want people
Flight
not
to be.
feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be able to work.
And that's one of the things where a lot of the guys that I do with wholesale that have offices, they're open to me. Hey, can I go check out your office? I can get ideas. So that's easy, getting different ideas. But there is a CRM. It's called FreedomSoft, where it tracks where the deal is and where the process is for the deals.
Okay.
There's different
So we have a
CRMs.
system.
So are you the one that's doing that?
Yeah, or the VAs will keep track to make sure. The VAs are gonna be, I really train the VAs to make sure they keep
A
track of
virtual
everything.
assistant? You think they're gonna be able to do all that?
We can talk to one of your assistants that I can train one of your assistants that can do. My job is to overlook everything and make sure everything is ran smoothly. My job is to make sure that the KPI, we're meeting KPIs.
Yeah, KPI is important.
That's my
What is
job. The KPIs is basically the knowledge of, okay, if we're spending this amount of money on marketing, we should be getting this amount of deals.
Okay.
So it's keeping track of the marketing
KPI,
dollars.
yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't remember the definition for KPI, I just know the meaning.
Is it an acronym?
Yeah, it's an acronym. You Google it, I just don't remember the name. But my job is to make sure that we're.
Performance indicator?
Yeah, key performance indicator, yeah.
Okay.
So my job is just to make sure that we're hitting the KPIs.
You're not gonna be putting out deals offers in, bro?
What do you mean by putting people?
So I feel good if you're going to give them the offer. We could train somebody to do an offer. Okay, that's like
Even if you train somebody, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the experience.
That's like you give me a deal, like you find through the funnel, and I know about real estate. I know, oh damn, this right here, we get this for 90, the rehab will be this is that. All right, we can sell it. Or this might be, okay, if we pay an extra 10 grand, now this is only for a buy and hold for an investor. It's not just straight flip. Or, hey man, we got this, and the rehab is 20, and we can quickly flip this within the company and let the opportunity be bigger.
Right. So you guys are head honchos, right? So
I'm not a head honcho. I'm a honcho. No, I'm a honcho. I'm not a head honcho. Head honcho is not a good term for me. I'm just a honcho. I'm a honcho.
the way it'll work is the dispo, once they get everything locked up, we're gonna, obviously you guys are gonna be firsthand to seeing what the deals look like. We're gonna see the dispo's point of view is making sure that the seller knows, we obviously wanna do fix and flip first. That's the first option.
Just so you know, this is going on my YouTube, so make sure you like and subscribe because you're hearing good conversation on here.
Yeah, so the first point is we want to give you a cash offer. We'll get movers to come to your house tomorrow to come help you move all your stuff, and to move to a different
Who's handling the
location.
depositories, earnest money?
Okay, we have an attorney.
But no, but like the disposition of that money? Where are those funds coming from?
You can either deal with your title company, or
Or
with
who's putting the money up to secure the property? Normally when you tell,
You're dealing with
No, you don't have
personal,
to.
you can put $100, $50.
Yeah.
you can't do that,
We
yeah.
can do that, but I honestly think that we don't even mention that. We don't mention it unless they mention it.
So we can put it in the contract, it'd be legally binding with no capital.
Without anything there. You don't need to put money in it.
I thought that was what made the contract.
It does, but you
That's
don't
what
have
you
to.
buy, you don't have to.
You don't have
It's a
to.
signable contract.
So we don't have to, there's no funds being
No.
put up. Okay.
I like saying, hey, if I don't buy your house, you get to keep this money. That's how my offer sounds good. And it's an escrow.
Well, that could be a tool that you use like, to close them up.
Yeah.
But like he said, don't offer it off the gate.
No,
Because we don't wanna put $500 if we don't have to.
No.
So whatever,
Yeah,
$1,000.
none of the guys that I work with now is putting
Alright.
anything down. No.
How much time you gonna dedicate to this?
This would be a 5 to 6 day operation. This is not something that's like Monday.
Because it's a lot of money we're putting out.
Right, and that's why you have to have VAs in place to make sure everything is moving consistently.
Yeah, you can't just hire a VA without training a VA.
No, we're gonna train them, but there's VAs that already know everything that either like they worked for a big wholesaling company that got fired, and we just try to get connect with them like that, or try to sell them to work. Because a lot of times they don't like how they're being treated with certain wholesale companies. A lot of wholesaler VAs feel like they're like a tool. They get treated like they're a tool in the on their belt, and they don't feel like the respect. So a lot of times you can reach out to the ones that work with big companies. No, I know this is going online, but they don't feel like they
I
have
don't
the
care.
respect.
I'll
Yeah.
post somebody else if you ain't happy.
Yeah.
That's business. Don't
Yeah.
take it personal.
So-
You can take it personal all you want. That
Yeah.
got nothing to do with me.
So they'll gladly, and I say, hey, this is a company, this is where we're at. I know you have the experience, this is what we're trying to do, and then just recruit them like that. You know, I mean, you guys know it's about how good you are as a recruiter. You know what I mean, and the emotional
I think we're
relationship.
good at that, so.
Yeah, and the emotional like for example, I've done business with you guys, and I'm like, I want to stick around. Why you think you guys are doing taxes? Oh hell yeah, I'm doing taxes. If you guys said I'm gonna be doing this, I'm like, all right, let's do it, because you guys have the experience, you have the knowledge, you have the connections, and you have the track record to show that. When was the last time you had a job?
I only had a job when I was 16.
When was the last time you had a job?
20.
There you go. Why would I partner up with somebody that, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. So because you have the track records and everything like that, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
We fund deals.
Yeah, and then it's not like if we have a deal on the table, the seller has to be nervous that we're gonna build a track record and say, if we have this under contract, look at our track record, we close.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We close. If our name is on the line, our company's name on the line, we close deals on this side.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's put things into process now. Let's start making the moves now. Let's get contracts and everything put together so we can start making this move and start getting this on the way.
Yeah, I'm ready. It's gonna be a great 2021.
I need to be a multi-millionaire.
We will be. We'll be.
Wholesale business?
Yeah.
First dibs on property, first right of refusal?
Yeah.
That's a good entry point.
Yeah, that's what you think about it.
Yeah, it's done.
On that note, make sure you guys like and subscribe for me. Thank you. It'll mean a lot to me. Seriously.